So it might help if I put AM as opposed to PM. Congratulations, folks. We have the first part of a two-part launch with the Drip UI coming out. My name is Potter. Right there. Right there. And so I have been a sysadmin, a developer, a cybersecurity professional. But one of the things that I want to talk about is when you roll something out to an international audience and why Forex did it right. Let's get into it. Hello, folks. Welcome to the Build Show. As I said, my name is Potter. Let me make sure you understand this. We do not give financial advice on this show. We are people who are involved in the Drip network, and we're hoping that it does the right thing. It's been a bumpy year because of the economy, but overall, I feel that as a person who's retired on Drip, it's doing okay. Now we're adding utility, and I think we're going to see good times. But again, not financial advice. So let's talk about the controversy. So on Friday, on Tuesday. I forget now. I just know that maybe because I had like a PTSD moment. I just know that people felt that it was going to. It was Tuesday of this week. Yeah. So Tuesday of this week, we found out that it was going to be in a two-part rollout for Drip. And people were not happy. But it was a tough decision. And I guess because, been with a part of the Forex community for so long, you just have to listen to certain words that he says. He will say, that's going to get going next week. That's going to start next week. Big news next week. If there's a launch, he goes very specific. There will be a launch of X on X day. So, he's missed that a few times, but he hasn't missed it lately. So when I heard his wording, I think I talked about it a little bit on the last show. I heard his wording about, DDD. He said something that it wouldn't be there at launch, but it just made a lot more sense because, DDD was kind of Ray's thing, and Ray from Bartertown Conglomerate is next to, with Stunna, one of the longest term drip maxis that there are out there. So even I got a little bit like, you son of a, but I knew that it wasn't the right thing to do to get upset. Lee from Driptopian has helped me, foster that desire not to get angry and get online. Because you don't want to fudge your own bag, but things were really looking bad. Like you start wondering, hey, am I trusting the right person? But with Drip, in my experience, I found that it's not about the person or the founder. It's about what are we going to do with it? This is truly like the Drip community is truly something that can be put together. I think Pulse Chain kind of has that kind of community. You see some communities on Phantom. Keeping my hands down because I have what seems to be a mosquito infestation and they are biting me to death. And I get help on DDD day. Yay. So let's talk about my experience. So I've rolled out projects from corporate, internationally. When I was at AOL Time Warner, we rolled out Exchange, and that was internationally. I think it was like 32,000 desktops or more. And I mean, we did all the hard work. We did everything. Pulled the late nights, ordered pizza at midnight. We were double checking everything, every system, the different locations, the Active Directory domains and the different places, how they would respond. We put in our GPOs, general policy objects, and they so we come in first thing in the morning, and all of everything just had errors. Like, we saw Ireland checking in first. It was error after error after error, and I was like, oh my God, I'm going to lose my job. Because I pushed people away from me and my team. I had a team of like maybe 6 engineers, developers, and we had done everything. But we do what we want. And so people were kind of waiting for me to fail. And it was an interesting rollout. We had to do a whole bunch of things. But the bottom line is that you don't want to launch anything when you have something else coming out. Programming is just too challenging. It's too difficult. So, it's just hard to imagine all the things that can go wrong. So the long story on that is that Ireland domain wasn't a part of our domain. So that's why I wasn't checking in. They hadn't signed up to become a part of our domain. So all the binaries that we put on people's computers, even though they didn't know it, we'd find out if they had space first, and then we put it there. Helped roll out the California Health Exchange. Again, that was a big one. And we didn't want to roll out the health exchange and then, say, what would be good? If we added that cool feature where they could just one click on something and, they're there. So I think that it was a good decision, even as a developer in-house, we would roll out tools that you don't want to roll out more than one thing, because there are errors that you just can't expect that are going to happen with a multitude, as opposed to, a smaller minority of testers. Just weird stuff happens. And Forex has always been a cyber or security person, of note, because it was my job. I listened for that. And he was definitely a person who paid attention to security. So, it was good on him. For the delay yesterday, I just imagined everything. But, the site went live. You're going to find a lot of other sites or people who are going to take you through the UI. It's one of the reasons that I guess we're a small channel, because I expect that you've watched everybody else, that you're just here because, you say smart stuff every once in a while. So this kind of goes into, one of the things that Forex said was he was going to have a suite of releases. He wanted, to roll out the drip UI, then he wanted to do DDD, and that's, I think, what I heard. He was doing it on the same day. But he wanted back to back weeks of, hey, I know I told you guys I was going to do stuff, but now I'm actually doing it. And so he did. And Stena interviewed him yesterday, Forex on the AMA. And Stena was like, it's Tuesday, right? And so Forex said, yeah, Tuesday is DDD. And that's the big one. Trying to figure out what DDD is going to do for people who can't see it. I'll try to explain from a technical aspect, right? So we have a bunch of drip out there that, people have made their money. They don't know what to do with it. Some of them are just saying, you know what, I'll take the few dollars. I'll drain this thing down to zero, because that's where it's going to go, people thought. But when Forex made the call out to the community to say, look, guys, this isn't on me. It's on you. Build stuff. If I like it, I'll endorse it. If I don't, I won't. And some people hit the fan on that one. But he's got high standards, but as he admitted yesterday, for the longest time on the show, we've said, I just feel like everything's itching me now. I'm like, is that a mosquito bite? He's said before that, oh my God, I forgot my train of thought because I had a insect thought. Dadgummit. I wish I could rewind and go back. Suite of releases. The back to no, not back to back to back. If right now I play hold music while I try to remember, so I'll just go back to what I can remember. He talked about the rollout of, boom, boom, boom. I want to regiment how these are coming out. We talked about devs and who can. Come on, boy. Co-host would be real nice right now. Very nice. So good. Bigly. I cannot remember. I can't remember. Dadgummit. This is where I would clip the video and go back if I wasn't doing it. Utility. Yay. So what's happening is people are buying, not really understanding what they're getting into. So when Forex said, hey, you need some utility, it's on you guys. People are like, okay. And so people started building things, including the DDD team. And, Forex was smart enough to get them on his team, right? Because he hasn't had really solid developers. And this leads into another thing I was talking about, where he said that he admitted that, I'm not the greatest dev, okay? But I can hold my own. And that's what I was saying about him being an architect. That's what I've been saying forever. I've been saying that an architect can get in and get dirty and figure out the code, but they're really a lot busier, and they're kind of like, in the corporate world, we say they're in an ivory tower because they're very smart people. But I really like that he was humble about, his abilities. And so now we have, for people who don't understand, what is DDD? It's like putting a utility almost on steroids and then putting in front of a bunch of people who like to play things like blackjack or, take high risk, full-on degen people who will get to compete for a pretty hefty prize if they win DDD. And DDD, I thought it was going to be a everyday thing, and we need to see it roll out, so I can't be sure. But it could be every 4 hours. That's going to drive the liquidity. And so, in my opinion, and so that's very, very cool. When you're in these plays, sometimes you can feel like an idiot, like, did I do the right thing? But when it comes to drip, it's been doing exactly what it's supposed to do since it launched. No rewrites, no stops, no starts, just go. And with the new drip UI out now, I think people who were a little bit shy about showing people, the drip page, will enjoy showing them this page. I think it's built more for mobile. Because when I look at it on the desktop, it looks okay. It looks great. But, I think it's more of a mobile experience because of those big icons. But regardless, it looks more professional. I don't care, what it looks like. It looks better. It's just different. And so as month one dripper, it's a little bit, maybe I'm going, oh man, I want the nostalgia back. But I really like the page, and you'll see it from other influencers. I really like the way that the faucet, they kind of kept the spirit of it. So when the liquidity begins to dry up, it's not just DDD anymore though. You've got Foodtopia. You've got, I think they're going to release a blackjack game by another dev. It won't fall under Forex, but like I got bit right in the middle of the finger, That's the worst kind of mosquito bite. But you're not just going to have this one thing. You're not just going to have DDD, right? You're going to have, I think it's brick by brick, Will's Candy, I think we can all say. It was a good run. I don't, 30% dev fee. I gotta make sure I watch out for that one. But, I'm glad he got his money. He went on to do other things on Pulse Chain. But you just have so many things that are coming in that are trying to dry up the drip token. And now, if you will, Forex is setting up a kind of protocol, if you will, like rules to say, hey, if you want to develop for drip and get my endorsement, it needs to do these things. And the things that he's talking about are in alignment for what's best for the overall token health. Because we know that drip is inflationary, and having utility to make it deflationary, which was one of the reasons why Animal Farm was built in the first place, because Forex kept trying to partner with people who were doing exchanges and they kept failing. And so he said, I'm going to do it myself. So he built that, and it hasn't necessarily done what he thought, but while he was doing it, everything changed. BB left, the technology changed, the bear market happened, he couldn't find competent devs, so a lot of stuff happened. Now he's talking about that V3. Yeah, I can't admit that I can't say I understand where he's going with that, but he does see something. And one of my barometers for how good is Forex doing is this is not financial advice. I look at the REAP token. It's his REAP token on Ethereum. And with his REAP token, you can see it, if it goes down. He's got some very heavy hitters that are part of REAP, and they're not going to waste their money. So it's good to look at that. And the health of REAP, it's gone up, I think 20%, maybe a little over 20% in the past week. So that's a good barometer too. And so that's kind of it. I don't want to keep you away from your other influencers because, we don't mind if you comment, but we don't ask that you like, subscribe, and follow. Why? Because we don't own the content at any time. YouTube could say, you're out of here. And, then you'd miss me. We are on Rumble, but I kind of wanted to go to Odyssey because that's more decentralized. But, looking forward to next week. Hey, by the way, check out the video that I created. It's kind of cool. I was a little bit inspired, saw an idea for a template, and said, I think I can take that to another level on behalf of DDD. So please like that. That would be cool. And I made the choice not to put the drip URL in there because that's kind of telling you to buy it versus do the research. So I put @drip community so people hopefully will know that is Twitter. So with that, I'll keep it kind of short-ish. Thanks for tuning in. If you're still here, wow. Really appreciate you. We are back over 100, and hopefully, if people like it, they'll stay. But if you don't, I understand. And I just wish everybody, the drip community, we fought for this. We fought against the worst parts of ourselves to stay in and not go FUD. And congratulations. And I will see you on the other side of DDD. As German Infinite says, tschüssing.